provide a little bit of background, then provide some high-level overviews of the projects that we are proceeding with hiring or proceeding with an alternative delivery approach, including procurement of consultant services for owner's advisor services for the projects. Some of the procurement requirements are business development, contract compliance. Office will be providing a presentation on equity and contracting. And then we are very pleased to have a representative from Tabor 100 here to talk about some outreach with Tabor 100 to provide some future work opportunities. And then time for Q&A. So just to give you a little bit of background, WTD, or the Wastewater Treatment Division, has historically been an organization that delivers its projects through design, bid, build. In other words, we hire a designer, we design the project, we bid it, and then we bring a contractor in. And historically, we have not typically involved the contractor in as part of the design development. So we felt that we were maybe missing out on an opportunity to better deliver our projects. And so we launched an initiative in 2021 to see how we could better incorporate alternative delivery into our capital delivery program. And our capital program here at WTD, it currently runs somewhere in the order of about $300 million per year, but that's expected to grow significantly in the years to come. So as part of this effort, we procured a consultant led by Griffin Hill and Associates, a consulting team, and we held a series of interviews to kind of sound out the industry on what are the best management practices, what have the experiences been of the practitioners of these delivery methodologies, so that we can better develop tools and processes and understand better how to implement successful projects. So we did that. We interviewed, I believe, or there were 24 respondents to our interview. I believe we did in-person interviews. Well, actually, they were virtual, but with over 20 firms. And we're using that information as we move forward in terms of developing our processes and our best management practices and our governance to incorporate alternative delivery into our capital program. Now, as part of this effort, we have selected 3 projects that we are basically piloting the alternative delivery methodologies. And when I say piloting, these are rather substantial projects. So this is for real. There are projects out in the community that we are just going to take the plunge and utilize collaborative delivery. And those include the West Point electrical improvements, the M Street trunk rehabilitation project, that's a corrosion rehabilitation project, and the ESI Section 8 rehabilitation project. So I mentioned previously that we've historically been a design, bid, build capital program. However, back in 2011, we completed some projects as part of the Brightwater program, and that was the Brightwater site work and liquids contract, and then the outfall, and those were GCCM and design build respectively. One of the reasons driving our move to collaborative delivery is we have, with our expanding capital program, design, bid, build relies heavily on internal staff resources, and we simply do not have the staff to staff up for the volume and the magnitude of the projects that we are seeing in our capital portfolio in the years to come. One of the things that we learned is that the industry is increasingly using collaborative delivery as the preferred methodology. And in some cases, it is more of the standard delivery methodology for many agencies and in many regions. So we feel like we've fallen a little bit behind here, so we're looking to sharpen our tools a bit. So these are, for the 3 projects, these are the schedules that we're anticipating. They're fairly high-level schedules. We're looking for all 3 projects to issue an RFP for Owners Advisors Services in Q2 of 2022. We're working on that RFP as we speak. For the West Point electrical improvements, which we will be doing a separate procurement for engineering services, that's planned for the last quarter of 2022. And then we also anticipate, once we have the Owners Advisors Board approaching the State Project Review Committee to gain approval to implement these methodologies in Q1 of 2023. So as far as the Owner's Advisor is concerned, we'll be signing those contracts. And one of the first tasks out of the gate is to help us develop our applications to the Project Review Committee at the state level. For the West Point electrical improvements, we'll be doing our procurement for GCCM in 2023. And then for the M Street trunk and the ESI Section 8 rehab projects, we will plan to do our progressive design build advertisement in Q2 of 2023, Q1 of 2023. And we're going to have separate discussions here about each of these projects and why we are recommending or moving forward with collaborative delivery on each of these. So project overview, can we go to the next slide? Okay, I'm going to hand off the presentation to Sibel Yildiz. Sibel?
Thank you, Stan. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our presentations and for our outreach this afternoon. My name is Sibel Yildiz. I am a supervisor in the project management unit in project planning and delivery wastewater treatment division. And I'm here to present one of the pilots for this collaborative delivery initiative that wastewater is going to have. It's the M Street trunk rehabilitation. I'll start with a little bit project background and then project scope. So M Street trunk was built in 1960s by the city of Auburn and was acquired by the Metro. And it has significant degradation due to aging, pipe material, and hydrogen sulfide related corrosion. A portion of the pipeline actually failed in March 2020 and had to be replaced. So pipe failure will result in more overflow in the area and creating potential public health and safety issues. In addition to that, pipe failure would disrupt the conveyance of wastewater from City of Auburn to our South treatment plant. The objective is to maintain a reliable sewer service and extend the useful life of this trunk by rehabilitating the pipe without reducing the capacity of this pipeline. And the scope is to rehabilitate about 14,000 of the linear feet of 18, 24, 30, and 36 inch diameter pipelines, starting from northern portion of the M Street trunk all the way to about Auburn Municipal Airport. And I'll show you on the next slide on the where it is located, basically. And here's our project area. I'm moving my cursor, but you cannot see it probably. It is on the where it says begin MC trunk. It starts from around 4th Street, M Street trunk, and goes up all the way to north. Basically, it follows the city of follow the street right of way. In some areas, it's crossing the some residential private properties, and where it connects to the Auburn West Interceptor right around the Auburn Municipal Airport on the top. It says, and Main Street Trunk Rehab, and there's a blue section on the top. And it is crossing arterial intersections, driveways, and crossing the Auburn Municipal Airport as well too. It would require significant coordination with the City of Auburn, Metro Buses, School District, PSC, due to close gas and power utilities, and definitely residential residences in the area. So you've seen this schedule in the stance slide. Basically, we are here for to introduce you the project and also the owner advisor advertising coming up this quarter. And anticipated project review committee approval in the beginning of next year, Q1 2023. Progressive design build advertising, we expect about a year from now, around Q2 2023. Anticipated substantial completion of the project by the end of 2025, and final acceptance beginning of 2026. An estimated total project cost is about $36 million. So why progressive design build project delivery is selected for the M Street Trunk Rehab? As Stan mentioned, this project went through the goodness of fit and method selection for collaborative project delivery process. Progressive design build was determined the best fit for the project for several reasons. Actually, GCCM was the next, and then design build was the third method in the ranking. And the main reasons were bringing on a design builder with a specialty contractor early on in the process would help to offer innovative solutions, especially for the technical aspect of the projects. And one of the, WTD has been doing this rehab project for a while, and most challenging part that we have found is the diversion pumping. So we would expect that this would bring more innovation on the diversion pumping challenges, having the contractor on board early on in this process, and also working with the design builder and knowing what the contractor is going to do early on in the process also will help simplifying the permitting in these residential areas, which will require a lot of easements and permits. And we think that also progressive design build allows the contractor to start the construction before design is complete, which through the work packages, which allow the schedule optimization by phasing the construction contract. So I believe we will have some time at the end for the questions for project specific or in general. So I will hand off to Dave Dittmar, who will present the next project.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dave Dittmar. I'm a supervisor in wastewater treatment in the project management unit, like Sibel and Stan. And I'll give just a brief overview of the Eastside Interceptor Section 8 rehabilitation project. Next slide, please. So very similar to the M Street trunk, ESI Section 8. Maybe I should back up. The East Side Interceptor is one of our main interceptors that travels along just east of Lake Washington. This particular section is going through the city of Bellevue, but it's experienced significant degradation due to age and pipe materials, and due to hydrogen sulfide corrosion. So again, like M Street trunk, it is the project is to line the pipeline to maintain this reliable sewage conveyance and also extend the life. I guess the main difference from M Street trunk is this project is about 4,800 feet, but it's 90-inch diameter interceptor, and it goes through a 5,600 foot long tunnel. And at one end, there's an energy dissipation structure, and at the other end is a junction structure down by Coal Creek. It starts essentially north of the intersection of I-90 and I-405, and then travels south to where I-5 and Coal Creek Parkway are. Next slide, please. We'll show a map. So the red line is going kind of north and south. You can see Interstate 90 and Interstate 405. That line going north and south is the tunnel itself that needs to be lined. One of the significant challenges of this particular project, similar to M Street trunk, is the flow diversion piping and pump that needs to occur. And one of the challenges we have, or thoughts in terms of how to do that, is to install that flow diversion system along the current abandoned railroad bed, which is part of King County's, I believe it's the East Trail system. So we do have a short window of opportunity, wanting to get this completed by the end of 2025, because King County Parks, which is the owner of that railroad corridor, wants to do work there. So that's one of the significant challenges we have for this one. So in terms of schedule, which we talked a little bit before, owner advisor award, fourth quarter of this year, but of course we'll start the procurement process similar to M Street trunk, and have some similar timelines with the PRC approval, progressive design build advertisement, second quarter 23, and hoping or planning to have substantial completion in Q4 2025, which would align with King County Parks' desire to be able to do their work through that same corridor. And currently the estimated total project cost is $76 million. Similar to M Street trunk, why progressive design build? As discussed, we feel this gives us a more optimized delivery schedule. We can also, I think, have greater innovation on the diversion pumping. And also, we would also have the ability to initiate early out work order packages that need to be done for this, and have just, I think, a quicker start in many aspects to certain aspects of the construction. And I think that's it for me. You want to go to the next slide? Great. I think it's back to Stan. Thanks, Stan.
Thanks, Dave. Next slide, please. Hey, we're talking about the West Point Treatment Plant Electrical Improvements Project. This picture is, there's just so much going on. This is during the original construction of the plant in the 1960s. And we had primary treatment that was operational off to the right on what is now the South Beach out in Discovery Park. There were sludge drying beds. You can see the digesters under construction. And this is the layout of the plant here back in the 60s, which was basically in my lifetime. Of course, that has changed. And then in the bottom left, you see the construction of the berm walls that are now have been planted and landscaped and we have vegetation that provides a visual buffer for the plant, but it's just a little bit of a history of the plant here, and things have changed out there in a relatively short period of time. Well, the electrical equipment is old. Some of the electrical equipment that this project will replace goes back to the original installation of the electrical system at West Point, and obviously is in need of replacement. I think as most of you know, West Point is undergoing major capital improvements, primarily aging assets, which have in some cases failed and affects the reliability of the plant and our ability to achieve NPDES permit limits. So we need to replace a lot of that failing equipment or that equipment before it fails. We currently have over 25 active projects that are planned or in construction at West Point over the next 10 years that are being managed through the West Point Capital Improvement Program. And equipment failure obviously can interrupt or affect the reliability of our plant. So the scope of this project is replace about 125 electrical assets. And this includes switchgear at the main switchgear at the plant substation, some of the 480 or the medium voltage substation switchgear and motor control centers. And then I'm not going to read through all of this. I reckon you can, but there's just a lot of electrical equipment that needs to be replaced. And this, as I mentioned before, all of this replacement work needs to be coordinated with other projects that are being implemented at the plant. We need to work with operations very closely to ensure that we're not creating outages or we're minimizing the time that equipment is out of service, keep the plant running. It's an operating plant. And then we have, we're also working with Seattle City Light to improve the quality of the power that's delivered to the West Point plant. I know they are doing studies to determine if a new feed would be appropriate to be phased in at some future point. But there's a lot on the table right now, all with the objective of improving reliability and quality of the power at the treatment plant. So this is our preliminary schedule. It's fairly high level. We recognize that once we have the owner's advisor on board, that consultant team will be helping us develop the program schedule for the entire project. So some of these scheduled milestones may change, but basically do the procurement for the OA this year, Q2 to Q4, the engineer in Q3 2022. I think our earlier slide listed Q4, so slight change there. I think we're actually shooting for Q3. And then alternatives analysis and GCCM procurement in 2023. And then we're off and running. So why GCCM delivery for the West Point electrical improvements? We thought when we evaluated this with our alternative delivery committee that we're replacing many critical electrical assets on an operating treatment facility. And so we really need a contractor aboard during the design phase to do construction planning, sequencing and outage coordination, and to carry that through during construction. We have the many other West Point projects that need to be coordinated. And then much of the equipment may be long lead time equipment that we'll need to procure during the design phase, get that equipment on order so that it's available and doesn't cause unnecessary schedule delays. So schedule optimization is key too. Okay, procurement. I'm going to hand off to Tricia Raw.
Thank you, Stan. Yes, hello, everyone. My name is Tricia Roth. I am the lead for the capital projects construction team within procurement at Payables. Next slide, please. We're very excited to be entering this journey on alternative procurements for our wastewater treatment division. Due to the complexity of these projects and the various contracts that will be out on the street, we ask that you register in our e-procurement system to gain access to this portal and participate in all the solicitations. Please note that when you register your firm within this portal, the information that you will receive as far as procurements will be based on the NIAX codes that you select at the time of registration. Note that if you do choose to engage on this project as a joint venture, you will need to register your firm in the system as a JV. And just please be sure to complete all the required fields and train stops for registration. We do have a fairly voluminous amount of information as far as user guides on how to use this site. We acknowledge that it's a change for us. This has been in place for about 1.5 years, so we encourage you to register early so that you can familiarize yourself with the system and be ready for these procurements when they release. Note that as of this month, we are also posting the invitation to bid documents as a zip file to our solicitation abstract page. However, any bidders or proposers who are interested in these projects will still need to register in the e-procurement system in order to submit bids or proposals. The bids or proposals are only accepted through the e-procurement portal. Note that once those procurements go live, all the communication must occur through the contract specialist assigned to the project. And if you have any questions prior to that, I would say, reach out to me. I'm at troth@kingcounty.gov, and our WTD division may also be providing some information on contacts for these specific projects prior to the actual procurements. And with that, I'll hand it over to our business development and contract compliance team, Joe Baca and Laura Preftis. Thank you.
Hi, thanks, Trish. Well, welcome everybody. Glad to see so many people here interested in these projects. BDCC stands for Business Development and Contract Compliance. And our section sets the equity goals on King County contracts. So for these projects, we will be partnering with the Wastewater Treatment Division to set small business and workforce development goals. For these contracts, we anticipate establishing goals for minority and women-owned businesses, NBEs and WBEs, and to count towards those minority and women-owned businesses business goals. These firms must be certified by the State of Washington's Office of Minority and Women's Business Enterprises, the OMWBE. Also, if any of these contracts obtain federal funding, there may be goals for small business enterprises or disadvantaged business enterprises. It would be dependent on the funding source. These firms would also need to be certified by the OMWBE office. We wanted to give you this heads up early so you can begin networking with these wonderful minority and women-owned businesses in our area and be prepared for when these projects are advertised. You can access the directory of MBEs and WBEs at the omwbe.wa.gov, or just search OMWBE in Google and it will bring you right to their website. We also expect to include the Equity and Social Justice Innovation Plan on these contracts. And the focus of this plan the plan will be on outreach and mentorship of OMWBE firms and advancing ESG initiatives on the projects. Information about the ESG Innovation Plan and our small business programs can be found on our website, which is listed on the slide here. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Joe Baca to discuss the workforce development goals for these contracts.
Thank you, Laura. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Joe Baca. I work in the business development contract county, and I'm the workforce. So for equity and contracting, these projects have a priority hire program in place. In about 2016, 17, right around that time frame, the King County Council passed a priority hire ordinance that goes into the contract specification as well as a separate payment. So the priority hire program has a requirement where we set at the time of coming up on the time of bid, priority hire requirements for apprentices and journey workers separately. There's 43 zip codes in King County, and this priority hire program targets those zip codes that there's certain things in place that the individuals must be 100% under the federal poverty program. There is folks that show high unemployment in their zip code areas, and other things that can be found in the website. So it does prioritize the individuals living in economically distressed zip code areas of the county program. And the driver of this, next slide, please. So the driver of this is the Master Community Workforce Agreement. The Master Community Workforce Agreement is a pre-hire collective bargaining agreement between King County and the Building Trades Union. And the key components in this MCWA is the priority hire requirements, apprenticeship requirements, and preferred entry requirements. Preferred entry also is a requirement that shows that any of the individuals must come from a pre-apprenticeship program. These are programs that individuals would get into from the community to understand how the construction workforce is before entering into the program. When they complete that course, they get automatic program. And of course, the contractor has the requirements to hire those individuals. So kind of a three-legged stool here where the individuals come from the community, they get into the apprenticeship program, projects that are covered under community workforce agreement. And it sets the basic terms and conditions of employment for the construction project. It has wage escalation, uniform safety standards, uniform drug testing, and of course, those workforce utilization. This agreement is like a PLA with priority hire requirements, and it covers all projects of $5 million. And of course, the website is down below. With that, I'll turn it over to.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ollie Garrett, president of Tabor 100. Tabor 100 is an association. Oh, next slide. Tabor 100 is an association of entrepreneurs, business advocates who are committed to economic power, educational excellence, and social equity for African Americans and the community at large. Our membership consists of women, minority-owned businesses, people from the private sector, the public sector, prime contractors, and others that are partners and a focus on the same mission as Tabor 100. Next slide. Tabor, we've been around since 1999, and a lot of our work and the majority of our work is based on advocacy work for African American businesses, minority-owned businesses, through training, getting them ready for upcoming contracting opportunities, and things like what we're hearing today on this call. Next slide. Tabor 100 opened up its Tabor 100 Business Technical Assistant Hub in 2020. The purpose of the hub is to support disadvantaged firms so they are ready to bid on opportunities like this, to get the businesses ready to bid, to empower the local minority businesses. We do advocacy for equity and enabling success. We work here at the hub. We offer technical assistance for all of the members. Technical assistant include how to get certified, putting on workshops of getting folks ready to be certified. We have workshops around how to respond to an RFP, whatever a business need in order to be ready for upcoming opportunities. Like you're hearing here today, we offer that here at the Hub. On our website, we actually have a link. If you go to tabor100.org, there's a link to where if you're looking for technical assistance, support, how to get certified, to be connected with the various agencies on how to respond to an RFP, whatever those things are, you can click on a link on the Tabor website and request technical assistance. And there would be categories where you can check the box of what you feel like you would need technical assistance in. Next slide. At the Tabor Hub and becoming a member of Tabor, you get access to the Hub Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. We have free use of meeting rooms here. We have the Vulcan room, the Bruce Harrell room, the Larry Gossett room. We have larger conference rooms where contractors, prime contractors can put on pre-bid workshops where they can come in when they're looking for subcontractors. We advertise, we set out all of our events to the statewide certified database of certified firms of upcoming events that are being held here. So if you're looking to do business with certified businesses, we advertise that for you. We have rooms that you can hold those events. Once you become a member of Tabor, it also includes a membership to the Seattle Chamber of Commerce. This slide is giving you a visual of the co-working space that we have here, the meeting rooms that can be set up. Also, the Bruce Harrell room. So we have smaller rooms to where when you're here, you want to have private conversations, you can reserve a room to go in and talk to. We have Cornerstone contractors here, and a lot of their project people work out of that office. So they come in and they meet with the certified firms and the Tabor members to get them ready, go over upcoming projects, put a face with a company, and start the relationship way before the project begin. OMWBE has an office here. WashDOT has an office here. The City of Seattle has an office here. We also have the credit union, Seattle Credit Union. So the credit union worked with our firms to get them ready to be bankable, to help make sure that they understand different things that they're going to need as far as access to capital and to get them prepared. We also work with businesses to help them find capital, access to capital, partner them with some of our partners to see if we are creating programs called character lending programs, to where sometimes it's difficult for our minority businesses to get loans based on different things that's required in the traditional banking situation. So we work with organizations that we label it character lending, where Tabor, we are able to help you get ready, support you through the process of responding to RFPs. And then if you are awarded a contract, we're able to vouch to our sponsors that's part of our character lending program. Here's a business that might not be able to get the traditional funding through banks, but we're able to introduce you to them, tell you what all they've done to be prepared for this contract, and to vouch for, we think that given the opportunity of funding them, that you're not taking a risk, that they will be able to repay on the loans and things. So at the Hub, we have plenty of free parking. We have the high-speed internet. You are able to use the printers. You can use the facility as a registered agent. We have some folks that just use it for mailbox locations. We have businesses here that rent office space, rent cubicle space where they can have an area when they come in. It's their dedicated space here at the hub. And we have complimentary coffee. It's right off the freeway, exit 1 off of 405, 5 minutes to the airport. And as I said, here at the hub, you have access to the city of Seattle, WashDOT, OMWBE, King County is one of our partners. We actually have one of the rooms is named the King County room. We have the city of Seattle room. We have the port room and the Sound Transit room, because they're all partners of ours. And we try to eliminate the excuse of prime contractors that should looking to partner with minority-owned businesses and certified firms from saying we can't find any. Well, that's what we are here for, to help you find companies to subcontract with, partner with, and to help the subcontractors and small business be ready to do the work that they are trying to bid on with you. I think that's the end of mine. If there's any, I don't know if we're going to do any questions on that now, or is that going to come later? Oh, we are.
Questions?
Okay.
So good. So Stan, you're still here, but
Yeah.
you can take it over till, but we just at this point wanted to offer it up for any questions on all the information or comments, and we'll do our best to answer.
Yeah, one thing I'll add here, we may want to move forward is for the 3 WTD projects coming up, we have contact information for the project managers for each of those projects. So maybe we should advance to that slide so folks know who to contact if they want. There we have it. If you want additional information about each of these projects. And want to thank Ollie for giving us your time and helping us understand what Tabor's all about. I heard free coffee and opportunity to go talk with folks. So please take advantage of this. I think there are some questions in the chat. So maybe we should walk through those questions here. Marley, do you have it?
I do have it. I do have
Okay.
it. So the first question is from James Che. Diane, will you be able to provide this PowerPoint file to the attendees? So we have the recording. Oh, go ahead, Diane.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marla. Yeah, so we are recording the session right now, but in terms of posting the presentation, we will be posting it on the WTD Contractor Forum page. And in just 2 seconds, I'm going to post the link to that page here in the chat, so you all can grab that and save the link.
Awesome. Thank you. So, and then we have contact information. And then we have, hello, will the participants attendee list from this meeting be available on the King County portal? Trisha Roth, do you want to give a couple words on that? She's still on the call?
Yes, I'm here. So I believe Diane will be posting this information on the link, the contractor forum page that was just pasted in the link. And if anyone is on the telephone, it's https://kingcounty.gov/departments/DNRP/WTD/capital-projects/consultant-forum.aspx. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. And so then the next question is, can you clarify if the county will be issuing 1 RFP for OA services or 3? Stan, do you want to take that?
You bet. I believe we are issuing an RFP for the 2 conveyance contracts, a single RFP from which we will have 2 contracts. And I'd invite Dave or Sibel to correct me if I'm wrong. And then a separate RFP for the West Point Electrical OA services.
That's my understanding as well. All right. Yes, okay, Sibel, good. Does the county have an example draft PDB contract ready that could be shared out?
I
No,
can answer that one.
okay.
for Stan.
Go ahead, Tricia.
Go ahead, Tricia.
Okay, so again, this is Tricia Roth, and we have completed 1 progressive design build and 1 GCCM within the last year. At this time, we do not have an example contract to share. We are incorporating some of the lessons learned from those first procurements, alternative procurement deliveries, with input from our client agency and the owner advisor that's brought on board for this project. So unfortunately, we won't be sharing that information until it actually goes out to ad, unless we determine internally that it's in our best interest to do so. Thank you.
All right. Looks like that's the last question in the chat. Did anybody have a question they wanted to shoot out by voice?
I just want to say that, you know, this is a new line of business for us. And so we're figuring it out, part of it as we go. But we would encourage you, if you have interest in these projects and want to learn more about the status, and provide us with input, you know, that'll help us shape these RFPs in the project direction. Encourage you to contact the project managers. We would be very interested in talking to you.
And then there's one more question, really quickly. Will there be any veteran requirement?
I can take that.
Okay.
At this point, we're not anticipating a specific veteran requirement. Our requirements are for the minority and women-owned businesses, and they have to be small businesses. So I would definitely encourage you to look into those other types of certifications. But it's a year from now or over a year from now before they're advertised. So it could change.
Thank you. And then Diane, do you want to share some survey information?
Yes, just wanted to do a quick plug. I put the link to the survey in the that's here listed on the presentation, but the link is here in the chat. If you all could take just a couple minutes, there's only like 6 questions. We'd love to kind of find out a little bit more about everybody that's here. If you could click on that link and provide us with a little bit more information, we'd really appreciate it.
Getting lots of thank yous on both ends. King County thanking you for attending, and then you all thanking us for putting it on. So again, we got lots of good feedback from our industry interviews as well. So we want to hear from you. We want to do this the right way. So if there is nothing further, I say we are closing out. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marla.
Thank you.